Ekene nne ikene nna yo, ekene agwụ o, nne na nna o, ekene agwụ o. Hello guys, welcome to another beautiful week. In this corner, we share the words of our forefathers. This corner takes you back to the memory lane where we remember all those wise talk of our forefathers. That when they say it to us, we get confused at that time. Sometimes we might need somebody to even, interpret it and to explain it better for you to understand them. And as we are growing older, we are also, me in particular, I've also realized that those words are making so much sense, to me now. And sometimes some people must have been experiencing those words in their lives. So that's why in this corner, we are going back to our basis, where we are coming from. Do you understand? To understand this better and to apply it in our life if need be. You understand? So without wasting time, we're going to go to our tradition, where I'm going to say it in my dialect, Asaba language, which is precisely in Delta State, Nigeria, West Africa. And then I will explain it further in English for a larger audience, for people to understand it better. So let's go straight to today's word of wisdom. Today, ndị nna anyị na-asị na onye ụjọ na-agọsi ebuwa n'idike. Onye ụjọ bụ onye na-agọsi ndị mmadụ ebuwa n'idike. What does that mean? It means, just translating it in English, that is the weekly that will show people the grave of the mighty one, the grave of the strongest man. The weekly is the one that will go and point that grave. Say, I see, this is where they bury that. That's the strongest man in this place. This is his grave land. So, but me, and I have a lot of reservation for this word of wisdom today. But hold on for me. Let's go further, to interpret it, because it is actually imparable. Do you understand? So I will go further to explain it. In this word of wisdom of today, what does it mean? It means that no matter how strong you are, no matter how brave and mighty you think you are, you should know when to retreat. You should know when to say, you know what? I like my father. He who fights and run away lives to fight another day. You should know where to say, you know what? I am going to stop at this point. Let me go back and replan myself. Otherwise, that fight might swallow you. So you are, and I want to use something to explain this word of wisdom today. I don't know how many of us have read Things Fall Apart. That Pete Edochie authored those days. If you have not read the book, maybe you have watched the movie. Do you understand? That's exactly how you understand. If you, I know the Gen Zs will not understand this. But in that play or film or movie, Pete wanted to be everything opposite what his father was. His father was a weakling. He's borrowing money up and down. He doesn't have enough farmland. He doesn't have enough produce from his farmland. He's always there trying to, borrow to make up his life. But as Pet was growing up, that is Okonkwo that acted as the son in that movie. He wanted to be everything like opposite his father. So he became so strong and became the strongest man in that village, Umofia. So eventually, there was this issue that happened. Of course, he went to fight and he won the battle for the village. So what they requested was for those village to give them a male guy, a grown-up person, like 12. The guy was about 12 years then, to come and live with them, and then they would decide what to do with the person later. But eventually, the villagers, okay, this guy should go and live with the strongest man, which is Okonkwo, in that movie. So he lived with Okonkwo for a very long time. He knew Okonkwo as the father, and believed, loved him, respected him, lived very homely and respectful with him. But guess what? When the villager decided to buy him, we have to be careful the word we use here. Eric, the friend of Okonkwo called him to say, do not be part of the buying of this boy. This boy calls you father. Even when they have decided the next thing is to buy him, do not be part of the buying of the boy. Do you understand? But no, because he wanted to be, he want to show himself. Say, no, I'm not a weakling. I'm a strong man. I need to prove myself. At the end of the day, on the day of they've dedicated to do this, to buy the guy, when all the elders were escorting the boy to exactly where they're going to do that, one of them brought out one of the weapons, and struck. And then the boy, thinking that he would be safe in Okonkwo's hand, ran to him. Eventually, he was the one that buried him, because he wanted to prove himself to be the strongest man and never to be a weakling. At the end of the day, that was the beginning of his downfall. Things fall apart. That was the beginning of his downfall. But if he had listened to, the advice, he wouldn't have, he felt like you have to be, they drove him from the village, something happened, no many things went wrong, and he have to go back to his mother's village. So this is part of the issue when they asked the Onyujo, that weakling, we do want to show the grave of the strongest man. But it can also happen to your life. Don't be in a place where at the end of the day, that thing will swallow you because you want to prove a point that you are strong, or you are the richest, or you are a very important personality. Just want to prove a point to people. Nobody really cares. Do you understand? Do not live a life to please people. That's what this is all about. Live your life according to your capacity and what you can do. Don't try at any point to prove a point to people. But then, this is where I have a reservation of this word of wisdom of this week. Some weak people also use this, as a yardstick to be weak. You see some men, they will use this proverb when they have not done anything, they will just tell you, so biko no you job back or say when dike actually budike. That does not mean that you have to be a weakling. You have to also be strong. But what we are saying, that there's time to retreat. There's time to say, you know what, I'll come back another day. Don't allow any issue to swallow you. Don't allow any problem. Even if it's in the office, don't allow anything to weigh you down because you want to prove a point to people. That is exactly what the word of wisdom of today is teaching us. Do you understand? Don't also settle down to be a weakling. At the same time, as the strong person you are, do not allow any issue to swallow you. Because at the end of the day, if you are not here, that will be the end. Nobody will remember you again. If you die, you die. Do you get my point? So it's better you are alive. He who fights and run away lives to fight another day. Thank you very much. I love you guys. And I believe that someone somewhere has learned something today, or they're already learning something as they're listening to me. God bless you all. Have a beautiful week ahead. I love you, my beautiful people. Bye.